Hello, today let's talk about how to make seven to $12,000 per month as a self-employed bookkeeper who's currently looking for work. So the reason why this video is so near and dear to me is because it was about 7 years ago, I was accountant slash bookkeeper who was looking for work. And it was just so hard when I first got started. So oftentimes I make videos just like these to kind of talk to my past self as to, what I would do looking back. And if I had a time machine, maybe we can go back in time and fix that. Now, what this means for you is you can sit in on these conversations I'm having with myself to make sure you can grow your business. And if you want more specialized, custom tailored help to you and your situation, you can go ahead and click on the link in the description below to book a call with me to see if I can help you inside of my private mentorship program. Now, back to what we're talking about. So, number one, okay, you guys need to really have a couple different things. The first thing is we need a simple process to get potential clients. Okay, the more complicated that you do or your process is when you're starting out, the harder it is for you to be able to make a consistent, sustainable amount of money. So the process I generally like to use is called LinkedIn referrals. So it's a mixture of referral partners on LinkedIn as well as being able to directly go after potential clients on LinkedIn and knowing exactly what to say. So the way that we figured this thing out was it was funny because we had been trying for so long. And in the first 6 months, it was so hard for us to be able to actually get anything to work. So we were doing LinkedIn, we were doing social media marketing, we were doing blog posts. We made a website that took 3 months to go, and it was ridiculous. And it wasn't until we started really getting inside of courses and masterminds and stuff that we really started figuring this out. And one day we were talking and talking and talking inside of my home office, and we got a call from a referral partner. So we had reached out to someone on LinkedIn and they were also an accounting professional. We say, hey, if you ever come across anyone who, could utilize our services, please, point them in our direction or give me a call if that happens. And one day we get a call. The person's like, hey, there's this manufacturing company and they're looking for a controller. I don't really offer that service right now, but I know that you guys are really good at that service. And then they're saying, yeah, it's about 30 minutes from where you guys live. So it's probably pretty far, far away. And I don't know if they're looking for someone virtual or if they're looking for someone to come inside the office. I said, okay, cool, whatever. We'll just go and handle it from here. So they gave us person information. We then went to them on LinkedIn and we just kind of introduced ourselves and said, hey, this referral person said that you guys were looking for this position. We think that we can handle this. Generally, we do everything virtually, so we're not going to be able to come inside your office, but we are really great at what we do. We have just a lot of experience, and we'd love to be able to help you out. So the business owner was kind of like, okay, cool, let's meet. Okay, so then we met with them, right? We met at a restaurant that was about 10 minutes away from us. And we were sitting there, we were having a conversation, and he's like, yeah, I heard so much about you from the referral partner. She said that you guys are really good. She's actually an old friend of mine, and I know that she does mostly the monthly books, but she was recommending you guys were really good at a controllership position. So that's why I did this, even though it's virtual. We generally don't like outsourcing stuff, but since you're so highly recommended, we can do that. And then we kept talking, 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 kind of building that rapport, building that trust. And eventually the conversation, as most consultation conversations do, is, well, how much do you guys charge? Right. And at the time, we weren't killing it. We weren't really working with big companies. We had a couple clients for 500, 400, 750. And we were kind of so this is gonna be a lot of work, right? So we were thinking it's gonna be anywhere between 20 to 30 hours worth of work per week. So on the one hand, we were kind of scared because we don't want to lose our independence because that's why we started a business. But at the same time, if we don't start getting bigger clients, we're not going to be able to be in business for much longer. So on the way there, we kind of had made up in our mind we're just going to charge the most money we could think of. No one pays anyone more than $10,000 a month. So we're just going to charge as close to 10,000 as we possibly can. So we had the courage. We were kind of shaking. I was like, yeah. It's kind of scared to say it, but we're like, it's okay. It's $9,000 per month. And the dude's like, okay, cool. And he said it without blinking. There was no thought process. There was no nothing. It was just like, okay, cool. And then we were like, at first it was like, cool, yeah, okay, awesome. We'll send you the contract, we'll send you all the engagement stuff. But then a feeling of kind of regret came in immediately afterwards, right? Because we were like, oh, explicit, expletive. We probably should have charged more money. Because it was that easy of a decision. It's like, whoa, they probably could have afforded to pay us more money. The reason why is because most people are not going to give you their last dollar. See, that's the key. What we didn't know is that person was actually willing to even go take out a loan to pay for our services because they were in manufacturing. They had a lot of they had like a line of credit they could use at any given time to pay for different projects and different things to move the business moving forward. And we didn't know that at the time, right? So it was just kind of funny where it's like, you say your price, you get everything going, but then you're like you get that kind of like down feeling where it's like, oh crap, I probably could have paid a little bit more if I like had been more prepared or if I had been more confident in myself or if I knew exactly what to charge. But that was in the past. That was our first ever like really big client. And I was really grateful that we got him. It pretty much like not only not saved my business, but like that was a thing where it was like, okay, we're in the game. We can actually do this. We know what we need to do in order to move forward and to keep growing. Now, also what this did was kind of just show us like a couple things about pricing. So number one, let's talk about pricing. The closer you can charge to what your monthly income goal is, the easier it is to reach your monthly income goal. And I know that sounds like a very simple statement, but if I had just heard that when I was first getting started, it would have been so much easier because I was trying when I first got started, I had in my mind, I was like, okay, so let's say I want to go and make, $10,000 per month. Okay, so that means I just if I, can get clients to pay me $500 per month, that means I'll need, 20 clients. Okay, cool. So we'll need 20 clients, give or take, 2 to 3 just in case. And that takes a long time to get that many clients. I'm not saying that's impossible. I'm not saying you can't do that in a year. I'm just saying like if I had a gun to my head and I only had 90 days to go and get clients, I'd be trying to shoot for clients that could afford to pay me 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, $10,000 per month. That would be first thing, because now I'm out of the danger zone. Most people, like their living expenses, are generally anywhere between about 3,000 to about $7,000 per month, give or take. Some people are more depending on where you live and what your current position is, but the average individual is generally between 3,000 to about $7,000 per month is what their expenses are. So if you can get a client that's paying above there, now you're in that safety zone. Okay, now you can actually have your business going without having to worry about, really struggling in your home life because you just, lost an income because and for some people they like quit their job. I quit my job cold turkey. So like I really needed the money in order to move the business going forward, right? But with that client, we were out of the danger zone now. And after that, that really kind of freed up my mind. Now, again, the closer you can charge to that amount of money that you need is really the goal. So for example, like Anna Jean, when she was first getting started, she had extremely low living expenses because she had just come out of a relationship for that she had been in for a really long time, and she didn't really have a lot of expenses. It was interesting, right? So for the whole year, she only needed about anywhere between about 30 to $35,000 to live, right? Because all of her children are out of the house, they're already through college. She didn't really have very many expenses, right? So the cool thing about her was she got $27,000 in the first month of working with me. So what that looked like was she charged one client about $10,900. It was a construction company that needed like a cleanup for like 2 years. Actually, I think it was like 1.5 years. They had to be cleaned up. And then she ran into like a naturopathy. It's like a nature doctor, and the person had paid her $17,000 for, I think it was either like a 3 or a 2 year cleanup. And right there, she actually got them to pay her up front, I believe it was. So she got $27,900 in 1 month, right? So she was she was basically out of the danger zone in her first month of working with me. So what that did was it gave her a lot more confidence and a lot more kind of relaxation to be able to grow her business and to kind of do things a little bit slower than what most people would want because she didn't really have that, just like fear of not having any money. Once you start getting that money in the bank, now you kind of relax and calm down just a little bit, right? But then also what that allowed her to do is say, okay, cool. So this process works. I can price my stuff. People are willing to pay me $17,000 at a time because they have money in the bank. So now when she goes after clients, she's going, hey, it's $1,000 a month. It's $2,000 a month. It's $3,000 per month. She has that kind of reference experience that business owners can afford to pay that much money, depending on the size, the industry of the business owner that she's speaking to. And that gives her a lot more confidence, which allows her to be able to grow a lot more consistently. And I believe right now she's anywhere between about 7,000 to about I think she was like in 9,500. I can't remember exactly where she is, and she decided to coast after a while. Because again, like as long as you're not raising your living expenses, if you can keep your living expenses pretty low, you don't need to have like a $50,000 per month business. You can if you want to, and if you're really ambitious, and if you really want to. But a lot of my students, like they just kind of want to get around that, 3x. So 3x income to bills ratio, meaning that they're getting three times as many sales as what their both their business expenses and their home expenses are. So they just keep bringing in money and money and money, and they're kind of in this zone where they can kind of relax. They can have choices in life. They can go where they want. They can travel. They can do things that most people can't, while still having that time freedom. So it really depends on who you are. I have other students like who are trying to go to like 50,000, $100,000 per month. It just really depends on where you are. Now, the second thing you need to know is, again, you need to have a simple process to get potential clients. Like that story I told earlier. What was the process we used? So the first thing was we built referral partnerships on LinkedIn. We started talking to people who can potentially give us referrals. Okay. Then once we got the referral, we got the contact information, we used a message sequence on LinkedIn to be able to get them onto the phone. Again, it's one platform, two methods within that platform that makes it very easy for us to go and get leads. It's referral partner makes introduction, we then do a group message on LinkedIn. Then we say, hey, when would you like to hop on a call to see if we can help you out? Or if they're close enough to us. Generally, we don't really meet with people anymore, like in person. Generally, it's over Zoom, especially because, like, the last couple of years, everything's been virtual. Um, and that's basically the process, guys. So another person who actually utilized this process pretty well was James. So James, he got he got a $10,000 per month client. It was probably about, I think it was like 7 days from when we first got started. Now, for James was a little bit of a slow starter because like the first day we did like an onboarding call, and it took about a week for us to like kind of get back together because he was had a lot going on in his work. So he came back. I told him to make one or two tweaks on his LinkedIn, and what started happening is LinkedIn started referring like people to him and started saying, "Hey, James does this service. James helps with this." And then someone reached out to him, and then James used our message script to kind of like see whether or not the opportunity was a good opportunity or whether it was just going to be like someone who like wants to pay like $50 a month, right? If someone wants to pay you too low or they just don't really meet your minimum criteria, we have a way to filter them out inside of our message script so they don't even get on the phone with you. Okay. But once you have deemed that they're actually good and you know they can afford to pay you the amount of money you want, and you know their mindset is one where they don't mind spending money to grow their business, then you can invite them to the phone call. He did the phone call. They were so relaxed. Like he could work from anywhere he wanted. They actually gave him a company laptop, and he got to be able to manage they had like a team of, I think it was between like 3 to 4 staff accountants who actually worked in-house. He could work remotely. So it was just a really good opportunity. They ended up paying him about $10,000 per month. Now, that's really cool. But the reason why it was so easy for him, because he was working a full-time job when he first got started with the program. Like we said, it took him like 7 days to even be able to escape from his work because it was like month end of the first week he joined the program. But then the second week he just did it, and it gave him so much freedom to be able to know like who he's speaking to, how you can verify how much money they're making, how you verify like whether or not they actually want to pay you money or whether they're gonna be like a tire kicker. Got him on the phone and then sealed the deal. Same thing with JT. JT got a $2,000 a month client. It was his first ever time getting a client for like $2,000 a month. And it came from LinkedIn. Same basic process where you identify who's your target, you go and you connect with them, right? Then you do a mixture of like messaging as well as like creating some pretty easy content to get them to really trust you. And then they start reaching out to you when they are ready to be converted and when they're ready to sign up with you. And it makes it so much easier, so much simpler to be able to get the clients because one, it's kind of like a bump strategy. It's almost like imagine you're at like a school dance. Let's say like you're in like middle school, you're sixth grade or seventh grade, right? And generally there is maybe I'm a male, so like right now I'm interested in women. So let's say that you're at a dance, right? And then you're going and you see a girl that you really like, but sometimes you're a little afraid to go and ask to dance, or you're afraid to go and talk, right? So generally how some people used to do it was they would like get closer, get closer, get closer, inch closer, and then they would bump, right? And then, oh, excuse me, sorry about that. I wasn't looking where I was going. Then the person says, oh, that's okay. Now you have an invitation to talk. It's the same thing on LinkedIn. So we're bumping them by sending the connection request, and then they say, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you." And now they're talking, right? Now your content is doing the conversation, the selling for you. So then when they're ready, they go, "Hey, I just saw all your content. I've seen all the stuff you're doing, and my business could really help me use your help right now. Like, maybe we can see if you can help me. Like, how much does it cost?" You deflect that question of how much it costs and say, "Hey, I need to be able to speak to you just to evaluate the business to see if it's a good fit, one, and two, to see like how much work would be involved. Because sometimes you might be doing like transactional bookkeeping, sometimes you might be doing virtual CFO. If you're, a CPA or an EA, or you just do taxes, you can do tax plans. So it all really depends on what service they need. So oftentimes we use a phone consultation to be able to get on the phone with them. So in that case, what you would do is you would just say, "Hey, I need to speak to you on the phone just to make sure it's a good fit and just to see like which service offering would be best for you to make sure that we can provide the most value for you and your business." They generally will say yes because they're really ready to go. You get them on the phone, then you talk, and then you close the deal. And we have other videos on sales on this channel. This video is just more about like the overarching theme of how to go and find people who can afford to pay you between like $7,000 to $12,000 per month for your self-employed bookkeeper. Now, hopefully you enjoyed this video so far. Hopefully you're just kind of learning some kind of unique things. I know that if I would have had this about 7 years ago when I first got started, it was like towards the beginning of 2015. Actually, I think it's like, yeah, we're getting pretty close to the reunion or the anniversary now of when we started our business. But all that to say, like if I would have had these videos, it would have been so much easier to be able to get to six figures, and I wouldn't have had to go back into corporate America for 8 months. But everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad that you're watching this video today. Now, if you want some help, you want some custom tailored support to be able to grow your business so you can reach your goal the shortest time period possible without having to feel confused, without having to feel overwhelmed, without having to feel really, really discouraged all the time, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me. And on that call, we're just going to look at where are you right now? Where do you want to go? And if I think I can help, I'm just going to outline what that process looks like for us to work together. And then we can work together if it makes sense. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're ready for the call, click the link inside the description below. If you're not ready for the call, that's okay too. Keep watching these videos, keep absorbing some value. And when you're ready, let's book a call. Let's talk and let's see how I can help you. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you inside of the next video.